Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce the 2009 Walter Camp Coach of the Year from Texas Christian University, Gary Patterson.
Well, let me say this to you. If I'd had all these guys behind me, I wouldn't be getting any Coach of the Year awards, because you wouldn't be a very good coach because you just had good players all the time. Fortunately for me, I did have some like Jerry Hughes do it. But on behalf of TCU, Texas Christian University, for all of you that don't know where that's at, that's in Dallas-Fort Worth, our faculty, our players, you know, I haven't seen many 0 and 12 coaches get head coaches of the year. So this is a group award, and I accept it humbly, of understanding what it means. I've been in this business for 27 years. 27 years ago, a man said to me, "Gary, quit chasing your dreams. Don't go to college. Don't be a GA. Just be a high school coach. Do what you need to do. You know, there's no money in it. Don't do anything about it. You can't help kids. Come back, be a driver's ed teacher, and this is what you want to do." And I didn't believe that. As all we did, we slept in the back of cars. We chased young men around trying to recruit and do things. As a man once said, if recruiting's like shaving. If you don't do it every day, everybody notices. So I do have to thank a group in the back of the room. We had 4 recruits on campus today. A man by the name of Dick Lowe and his son Brad Cunningham, his wife, and my wife Kelsey came here, but because of him I was able to be here tonight. We had a breakfast to be able to fly in, so if you wouldn't mind giving them a round of applause and thanking them for being here. You know, in my lifetime, you know, as a coach, we have a chance, and I heard the word stage many times, platform. One of the things, if you've listened to anything that had to do with TCU this year, one of the things that you noticed from me that I felt like was important. A lot of people said that TCU should have an opportunity to play for a national championship. Let me tell you, 2 great teams played in the game. But I would say to you this: if we're going to be great leaders, we don't need to whine. We don't need to complain. What we need to do is do it one day at a time, and understand how we do things, and that's the way we do. And one of the reasons I'm very fortunate to be a part of the Walter Camp All-American team is that this is what this institution stands for. It stands for people. It stands for kids. It stands for giving back, and it stands the very essence of what we're trying to get done as a foundation in football to make sure that it doesn't change, and for eternity we can always give it back. When I heard the number 1889 was when the first Walter Camp team was announced, and to understand all the men that came before these guys and myself, and people like John Elway and all Kenneth Davis as a TCU grad, to understand what they meant to their colleges, what they meant to their hometowns, what they meant to the people around them. And all you have to do is to make a difference to one person. In my lifetime, I think one of the things that coaches miss out on, and I've tried to do, and one of the reasons I've stayed at TCU is for a couple reasons. TCU allows me to not only win ball games, but they allow me to do things the right way. In this lifetime as coaches, in this volatile profession, it doesn't take very long for somebody to get rid of a coach. But we'll keep our jobs because of wins and losses, but really how we'll be judged is we'll be judged by how we turn out in 5 years, the kind of men that turn out in society and give us an opportunity to be successful. I've been very fortunate to be now going on 13 years at TCU and have an opportunity to watch young men come back now that have families, built their own houses, have their own jobs, maybe own their own businesses, and to come back, even though maybe for the first 5 years they didn't talk to me. As we all know, being a good parent doesn't always mean that you tell them what they want to hear all the time. But I would say this to you. If you watch all the leaders, and at least what I think the Walter Camp Foundation stands for, the one thing I'm going to be probably the proudest of is to understand all the people that came before me and why they were chosen. And to know that I can have an opportunity to come back here and be a part of such an association for eternity is very memorable for me, because in 27 years with all the good coaches, all the good players that have walked this stage and will walk afterwards, to think that maybe one time you'd win one award. is very hard to do. And for me, it's been a big year, a perfect storm of understanding that I appreciate that people have recognized that, that you not only win ball games, but you try to do things for the right reasons all the time, not just some of the time. And if you've ever watched me on the sidelines, and kind of like my father and mother-in-law, I'm a little bit passionate. You know, when you're losing, they call you crazy. When you're winning, you're passionate. And, you know, the first thing that my father-in-law said to me was, Kelsey, are you really sure you like this guy? He doesn't look real nice. And so for me, every day is a perception game. And so, again, I thank you so much. I thank these guys up here because without players, coaches wouldn't have jobs. And sometimes I think we forget that with all the changes in our profession, that the reason why you have your job that you have and you're able to move on to other jobs is because of the players, the coaches, the institution, the alumni base. They all help you maintain what you are. So thank you so much for the award, and thank you for letting us be tonight, and go Frogs.